Hello and welcome, beautiful friends and beautiful, lovely, and radiant beings. It's Sapphire. There is a common belief or misconception among many, but certainly not all, within the New Age spiritual community that can basically be summarized as all is love or all is full of love, where all can mean the world or the universe. It is a belief that unfortunately is just not true and reveals a high level of naivety among many in this community, and can certainly be perceived as a big turnoff for potentially curious outsiders who wish to learn more but are almost immediately met with what they arguably correctly perceive to be a boatload of toxic positivity. It is this misconception that I wish to address today in this video. Before I get into it, please take a moment to like, comment, subscribe, turn on the bell, and donate. Now let's get back into it. So let's start with the misconception that all of the universe is love or goodness. You need only take one good look around, especially at the news, to know that's simply not true. Look at how society and our world operates, how we often treat our most needy, vulnerable, marginalized, and misunderstood, and how we often treat the natural world and the planet with little thoughts or regard beyond what resources we can extract. And then many of us humans raise and slaughter billions of intelligent and sentient beings in what is hell on earth type of conditions, and then sell their bodies at market for our consumption. We frequently go to war and murder each other by the thousands or even millions, merely for land, resources, or geopolitical dominance. And then we often venerate the greedy, rich, and powerful, regardless of how morally bankrupt they may be. Then turn away from the artificial world that we humans have created for ourselves for a moment and look at how the natural world operates. Primary consumers or prey tear off pieces of producers' vegetable matter or consume thousands or millions of plankton in one gulp. These plants, fungi, and plankton are unintelligent and not sentient, yes, but they are arguably conscious in some way nonetheless. Then, secondary or tertiary consumers or predators hunt and ruthlessly kill their usually intelligent and sentient prey just to survive, or they will starve. Yes, of course, they preferentially hunt the weak, the sick, and the old, so there's usually some mercy in it all, but this point still stands. Yes, this is of course all happening in balance and harmony as long as humanity doesn't intervene too heavily, a dynamic equilibrium, circle of life, and all that. But there's so much violence and suffering contained within. Finally, this all happens within the backdrop of both humanity and the natural world being utterly at the mercy of the whims of the elements and Mother Nature herself, the change in climate, the churning of the magma within Mother Terra or Gaia herself, and the churning, crushing, grinding, and crashing of the tectonic plates on her surface. Any space rocks randomly thrown our way, and any occasional explosive ejections of excessive solar winds from the light bringer and life giver of the sun itself, or potentially even greater cosmic events beyond. Well, now that all the bad stuff is out of the way, there is, of course, a lot of good, peace, light, and love in the universe. There is a lot of peace, light, love, kindness, and compassion in the world and the universe if we allow ourselves to see it. Reality is dual in nature, yin and yang, good and bad, light and dark, peace and chaos, love and hate, kindness and violence. But there is an overflowing of abundance of things that are worthy of respect and appreciation, and love and goodness can be found in many places throughout the universe, including ultimately within yourself if you just look. Yes, the material 3D existence is not all love and light, but the ultimate universal source or consciousness is pure light, energy, consciousness, and potentiality, and consciousness in its purest, most order and constructive state, universal good, if you will, is love. I believe that the underlying fabric of reality is not love, but rather consciousness. Not pure love necessarily, but rather pure consciousness. In the 3D material paradigm of the universe, consciousness is like trapped light, if you will. One's energy absolutely does have ripples outward into and unto the universe, but it is not necessarily light that can be seen by the naked eyes of your visual cortex. I believe the pure light of love, peace, truth, gratitude, unity, joy, equanimity, and service is the highest aspiration of highly conscious and enlightened beings. The energy of bad, negative, and harmful intentions and actions such as hate, violence, abuse, deception, greed, and malice are, on the other hand, a kind of false light, if you will, to many, but certainly not all people, or even most people or sentient beings for that matter. I believe the core nature of most people is good, but many unfortunately do sometimes get pulled into this false light like moths to a flame. It is possible to change one's ways and more fully embody the pure, true light of love and even redeem oneself, but it takes time, intention, effort, and often multiple reincarnations. This is essentially the boiled down version of my concept of this positive aspirational spiritual cosmology or positive aspirational pandeism or panpsychism, depending on how you want to think about it. Everything is energy, everything is consciousness, everything is connected. We are all one. Energy flows where attention goes. So we should be mindful of what we choose to focus on and give our attention and energy to. Peace, light, and love is something that we should inspire and aspire to generate more of in the universe. There's too much conflict and bickering and quarreling in the world, and it seems like most people just take themselves too seriously and are too negative. People should instead be more kind, generous, grateful, generous, loving, forgiving, peaceful, and less serious, and more graceful. People should live and let live. Our beliefs, thoughts, and consciousness itself create reality. And if we hold that to be true, we ought to be conscious and intentional about what beliefs and thoughts and attitudes we choose to cut away and which we instead to foster and nurture and radiate out into the world. Virtually anything is possible. Life is what we make it. Life is miraculous, and it can become even more so if we only choose to make it so. Love, universal love and good, is the ultimate, highest pinnacle, the most enlightened aspiration of all consciousness. And all that being said, I have nothing more to say except thank you, thank you, thank you, namaste, thank you so much for tuning in. It's always appreciated. I love you all so, so much. Namaste, and blessed be everyone. Take care.